I mean, he just came over. So let's just say hi.
Hi. Hey, Charlie. This is the second time you've been part of the intro. So welcome. Do you want to welcome everyone to Love Through It?
He looks like he is drunk. He's not.
Oh my
He's just
God.
weird. Welcome.
Welcome.
That's so
It's
funny.
it's so funny just to hear him meowing in the background.
I know.
It's so cute.
He
I'm
making
Liana,
some,
by the way.
and
Go
I'm
ahead.
Claire. I'm sorry. I'm Charlie's mom. Charlie's
Yeah,
mom.
Charlie's mom is who you are, and if he continues
Yes.
to be to chime in, like that's great.
That's so be it. He will.
He will. How
And
are
I
you
think
doing?
is
What's
Lucy in
happening?
the? Oh no, I thought Lucy was over there. Sorry, I got
It's
excited.
okay. Oh, you were going to bring her on.
Well, she wouldn't. Well, that would have been just a wasted effort because certainly would not want to come on or be held. I think more is the issue.
I
She
see.
doesn't know the importance of public speaking yet, so
She's younger.
she's younger. She's younger. I'm clicking. Listen, my coffee machine broke, so I don't have my coffee today, but that's okay. That's okay. We're awake. We're alert.
And you're so awake for not having coffee.
Thank
More than
you.
I feel like I am. And I have coffee, which I should not still be drinking at 5:06 p.m.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's very upsetting. I think it's going to be the synapses in my brain is going to be the tell. Like they're
Ah,
not working as quickly. I can't even speak, you see. This is how it's going to come out. As opposed to the chipperness. I can be chipper, but I may not know
yes.
what I'm saying. You know?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, well, it's been weird energy the past couple of days. We're getting a lot of
Yeah.
like new energy, but in these skinny lines, which I really struggle with. And then a
Yeah.
lot of release energy. Of course, talking about the Schumann because for better or worse, I'm very affected by it.
Yeah.
So I feel you, but then also I had what I, I guess would call,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been thinking about this a lot, probably one of the biggest personal internal shifts, experiences,
Yeah.
growth moments I've had in my whole life this past week.
Yes.
And so we have a very exciting announcement,
Yes.
but I guess I have to lay the brickwork,
Yeah.
the groundwork,
Start from the beginning.
and I was trying to like parse through my thoughts and find a way to tell this in a concise manner, which we
Ah,
know
why
I'm not
start
very
now?
good. I know. And the thing is, I'm not sure that's ever going to happen.
I know.
But it's so interesting too, because like I feel like I'm still integrating it and I feel a lot of things and I feel really emotional. So I might cry. I might cry on
Listen,
this podcast. I'm just going to warn everyone.
crying is welcome.
It is. It is. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful thing.
Yes.
So if you listened to last week's episode, it was delightful.
Oh, what a
But
treat.
for some reason, I came off of it feeling like something was off. And
Hmm.
then often in the beginning of doing this, it was always just a vulnerability hangover. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like, why am I talking about these crazy things? Like, what am I doing? And I've gotten used to that. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And this past week, I couldn't, it like wouldn't go away. And I slept on it and I was like, what is this feeling? What's going on? Like, and my brain kept being like, I think the format needs to change. I think like something needs to change. Like, I'm not like
Yeah.
showing up fully in like, I feel like I'm not doing what I was pushed to do. And I
Hmm.
feel like I'm not like showing up in the way. And like, I think I need to like bring more of the channeling. And I think, but it was like, I like couldn't wrap my head around it.
Right.
But the next morning I woke up thinking about it. And what kept sticking out to me in my mind was, I don't know if you remember, but part of something I mentioned last week is the concept of like allowing all that you are.
Hmm.
And I realized that there was a part of me that wasn't.
Yeah.
And this got catalyzed because the next morning, as we talked about it, because we talked about that crazy dowsing report.
Yes.
And like you and I were like, I gotta book a session with this guy. Like,
Right.
this is so
Right.
funny. Like, I need to hear all the tea.
Find
Like,
out
I need to
more.
find out more. And so the next morning, I like get in contact and I try to like schedule a session. And as I'm like inputting my information, I get the loudest no from not my intuition, but my guides.
Wow.
And it was like, no, like in all caps, like, do not do this. Absolutely not. And I was like, wait, what? I really want to. What do you mean?
I want to find out.
And it was like, no, absolutely not. You don't need this. Don't do it. Absolutely not. And I was like, what? And it was like, Liana, this is the thing that you've been learning. Like, if you have questions about like your instrument, about what's going on, like, we're here, you're here.
Right.
No one else is going to tell you better.
What
like,
we can tell you. Yes.
Right. Like, we're in this experience. And like, also like, hey, where you been? And
Yeah.
it was this real combination of like, oh, wow, you're right. Because I struggle to allow all that I am in this iteration because I still feel judgmental of it in ways. I still feel afraid of it in ways. I still feel like afraid of what it would be to like step fully into like the ownership of everything and like just be fearless. And I've never felt like the ability to either. And when I really was sitting with like how to share this morning, I like had this anxiety around it where I was like, oh my God, well, what do I do? So Friday passes, I feel anxious. And the next morning I wake up and I'm feeling really like a lot more. And I'm feeling like I have to do something. I don't know what it is. And I'm anxious and it feels heavy. And I'm running through the scenarios of like, well, do we chit chat less? Well, do what we like, and in no universe, like I was like, well, we should talk, make it. It was like, how do I fit this new framework with what we've created?
And less is never the answer, but go ahead.
Right. Of course not.
Yeah.
So I am trying to like, I'm like going around in my brain and then I get the vision so clearly in my mind of the week prior where we did, if you hung out, we did 2 hours and we each kind of shared for an hour very different things.
Yeah.
And the vision was like of almost like the screen of us being pulled apart into two separate entities. And it was like, no. And like, I felt it in my body. I was like, oh, no. This is what you're showing me. Like, no. And then up until this point, I was like, oh my God, like, what do you mean? I have to like tell Claire, like, I have to do this alone.
Right.
Oh my
What
God.
does that mean?
And the idea of doing this alone up until Saturday was something that I felt like very vehemently against and very like just, it was something I couldn't do. I couldn't explain it. And when I thought about it, I was terrified and I was very sad, but I felt like I could do it.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds really kind of like silly and trite. And I was like, you can do it, Liana. Like she became brave or like whatever. But, and I've been thinking about like, is this, at first I'm like, is this just really embarrassing? And like, I'm 43 and like, I'm just finding my voice and feeling brave. Like, am I really trying to like couch this in something bigger and spiritual to like, be like, guys, no, it's not just me. I'm not just a wimp, you know?
No.
And when I started to unpack it, I started to realize, because once I realized that I could do it by myself, I cannot explain the amount of like, I could breathe fully into my body. I felt as though like my soul was able to like fully embody the inside. Like I felt like I leaned into my like my back and my arms.
Oh,
like
interesting.
I was like, I've been sitting and like holding my breath inside of my body. And it was like, wait, I can take up this entire like meat suit. I can be inside of this. And then it was like a deluge. It was like a flood of relief, of joy, of grief, of fear, of talking to you about this, of fear of what it's actually like to feel free to do this and do this on my own. And it was like beautiful, but heartbreaking, but I was even more anxious. And it's such a strange thing to talk about because I know I'm a very capable person. I've done a lot of great things, like not great, but like hard
Good.
things in my life.
Good,
Yeah.
hard, yeah.
And I, for my entire life, have felt a little bit like there's this part of me that's authentic that wants to like scream and shout and dance and sing and express. And there's like a glass, soundproof glass in front of me. And like, I just can't get out. Or sometimes it feels like I'm screaming and no sound will come out. Or often it's felt literally like someone has their hands around my throat. And I just thought my entire life up until the pandemic, up until I started seeing Ching, who is like like he does sort of emotion. How do you even explain Ching? He's our wizard. He's an acupuncturist that does this technique called emotional consolidation.
Right.
That is sort of like somatic therapy. Anyway, that Claire and I have both worked with. And I thought that I was just like, I look back at my life and I thought that I was either too shy or not smart enough. Like that's what was in front of me my whole life. Like I wasn't brave enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't like, as it got into like acting, like I just wasn't good enough. So like I couldn't do that. Like I wasn't as creative. I wasn't as smart. Like I wasn't ever going to be able to fully do this. And I remember when I quit acting, when I made the conscious decision during the pandemic that I wanted to pivot fully in my business because that felt like the most aligned thing. Or I would say retire. Quit is not the right word. I retired. I had to lean into just what's going on.
Lucy just came up here.
Wait, we didn't think she was going to grace us with her presence.
I'm so sorry. I got very distracted.
I mean, it's like a beating heart of love.
It really is. Okay, sorry. I
thought maybe she was going to make an appearance, but she would run.
I'm too anxious about picking her up because it stresses her out. So, but she did come up and she did a little squeak of like, meow, which she never does.
Oh
so anyhow, so
you guys, this is a magical day.
She says hello.
I just got an endorsement from Lucy.
Yes, indeed, which is huge. Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. But I was like, we're having an experience. What's going on?
Yes, something is happening over here.
Anyway, I wanted to pivot into my business, but I didn't feel, and I remember I had this business coach who was like, you have some of the best testimonials I've ever read. People love you. You're really good at your job. Just put yourself out there. Yeah. And I was like, I can't. And so I was seeing Ching and I was like, I feel like I have this block. Like I cannot put myself out there. I cannot, like, I don't know. Like it feels like someone is like muzzling me or someone has their hands over my mouth and my throat and they're like squeezing. And up until that point, with emotional consolidation, what he does, and this is something you could do on your own. It's so amazing. But essentially, he lets the emotion or the physical sensation of the emotion lead the session. So with anything else that felt like it was bothering you, kind of, you go into this session and he'd be like, what are you feeling? And it was almost like he would encourage you to allow the feeling, expand the feeling, and then let the feeling give you the memory or the reason. Is that how you experienced it, Claire?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think, and I don't know if it's, your description of it is probably better than the way I could say. I think the way that I went through, it's like because I'm so logic driven. So often it's like,
wait, this is so fascinating, right? We're just so different. I'm so sensitive. Right. So, okay. Anyway, continue.
Right. So I think that, I don't know if it was different the way he approached it or just the way that I saw it, but it's like, okay, well then like go through the facts of that, go through like what that could be or experience what that is. And I think while it is feelings forward, there's also very much a logical understanding of like, okay, you can't be afraid of this or the possibility because like, okay, I just walked through all the options and nothing was horrible.
Yeah. Right. Like he would get you to either like look at it and like live out different scenarios.
Right.
Or sometimes he was just like, okay, like just feel it. Like I felt like I was just given permission to like feel it. And it was the first time I left anything being like, it's gone. I felt it all up. Yeah. And it was like, you'd feel so light. But up until that point, I'd been seeing him for like an entire summer. And up until that point, every time I had like a feeling, it was related to a fear, a memory, you know what I mean? Like all kinds of different things. And he would then talk you through like other scenarios or, you know, it was very logic and it would allow you to release stuff.
Right.
And that day when I went in and I was like, I'm stuck, he was like, okay, go into the feeling of stuckness.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like in my throat. And I went in and I couldn't get there. And then finally I got this visual. It was not a memory. I got this visual of a glass box and I opened it and it was just like, again, like a massive flood of what I would only describe as like pure white rage, like a tsunami of it, which I don't like. I'm not an angry person.
No.
Like this was really new. And I remember I was in person at the time and I sat up because it was on like a massage table.
Yeah.
And I was like terrified. And I was like, this is not from my life. This is not connected to anything.
No. Yeah.
Like, I'm so afraid. Like, what is this?
What is
and
it?
He's so he seems like the most like,
He's so
even
chill,
like grounded person. And he's never said anything woo-woo to me at all. I mean, we're doing we're doing like alternative stuff, but he's not talking to me about anything. No. And he just calmly looks at me and is like, oh, we've just tapped into a past life regression. It's
like, oh, okay.
What? He's like, have you ever dealt with rage? Have I taught you how to deal with it? And I was like, no. He's like, you have to go into your imagination and suspend morality and reality and just do whatever you need. So if you need to like burn down a house, smash a bunch of plates, like strangle someone, like, you know, punch him in the face, like just go do it until this disappears. So I'm like, I feel really afraid of this, but I will do it. So I laid for the rest of the session, which was like the better part, like over 45 minutes, having these visuals of like really like strangling and stabbing and murdering and like literally like slicing. It was all white men. Can I tell you? All white men. Slice him down the middle, parting it and like ripping out their intestines. Like it was so weird and scary. And it would go through this thing where it would like crescendo. And every time someone would kind of grab me by the hair and slit my throat. What? And then I would die and then it would start again and I would be like full of rage. And so like the amount of ways I got like killed and then it was like, and I'm laying on the table just like looking like I'm having an exorcism with my eyes closed, just like feeling that like just doing what he said. Yeah. And I remember I sat up because it sort of like calmed down. I sat up and I was like super embarrassed. I felt like really weird and really like overwhelmed. Yeah. And he was like, okay, like session's over. Go home. If more of this comes up, just like, you know what to do. And I was like, what just happened to me? I've never had anything close to like this.
Yeah.
I don't even remember driving home. I'm staying with my parents. They're like away for the weekend. Thank God. And our house is like in the woods, big backyard, kind of far away from people. And I get home and I just like am buzzing still. So I'm like, okay, I feel like I've like opened up a portal to something. So I spent like the next like hour running and screaming, like barefoot in the backyard, like punching and kicking and like whipping and like till I'm like sore and hoarse and I like lay on the ground. And I go to bed and I remember like voice noting one of my friends from acting school. Cause at the time I was like, who do I even tell this to? I don't even have like super witchy friends. Like how, and like, no, who's going to believe you? This sounds crazy. I like tire myself out. I go to bed. I wake up the next day and I'm not kidding. I went from feeling like I just took up like this much space in the world to like my energy was just like 20 feet around me in every direction. Yeah. And then within 6 months, I started my program. Within 9 months, I was making more money than I ever made. I was like, I created something. I put it in the world. I was getting feedback. I was in flow. I'd moved out of the country. And it was like, I left being like, this is not mine. Like whatever it is, like this is ancestral. And because it felt very like Asian for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? It felt
no. That makes sense.
I need to just, I thought, I like did not disturb. Okay, good. I did not disturb my phone. And then someone just like texting me randomly. Like, what is going on?
No, I think, like, wait, distraction. I mean, because that is, you know, that is a part of your heritage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of white men weren't very nice to
No.
a lot of Asian people.
No. And so I just kind of left it there. I had like two other kind of weird past life regression experiences with him, but like that was before I met Tara. At that point I didn't ever,
That was just the beginning.
That was literally, he was the tipping
Just
point.
the beginning.
Just the beginning. That was like toe in the water. And I was kind of like, well, like life is weirder than I thought. And then like the next one I had this whole vision of like having a baby die. And I grieved this baby for like the next week. And I was like at home crying to my mom about my dead son who like died in my arms. He was like 2 years old.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
It was like, then it was like, I don't know how to not, like this memory lives so much in my body that like, I don't know how to not. And like, I don't know what to believe, but like, I just kept feeling at the time, like whether it's a past life or not, like there's something that needed to be out of my system.
No, for sure. I had a couple instances like that with Ching, not to that extreme, but some past life stuff that felt like, oh, I needed to get that out. And like, it was clear as day to me when I was feeling into it and like following it. It was fascinating. So yes.
It's insane. It feels so bizarre.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning of opening me up to a lot of things that are continuing to evolve. Yeah. So when I really sat with that this morning, I was like, no, this has been a part of me for a long time. And it was funny when I think about our relationship, you have been such like this amazing, like truly the program that I put out, that I created during the pandemic was the most when I think of myself as an artist in like a broader sense. Mm-hmm. And that was like my most beautiful masterpiece. Like it was everything that I learned to like heal from an autoimmune disease, heal from being bulimic, like heal my mind and body and like connect my soul to something greater. Yeah. And like I put it together into something, and I assumed everyone would think it was weird and no one was going to sign up. And you were the first person. And you know,
that was me.
And you stayed with me, and you then, you know, later offered me really amazing support and suggestions, so much so that I was like, do you want to come work for me? And then of course, like you had started your own podcast, and that was a whole journey. And like, there's part of me that I feel like I look at my whole life, and there's been this like little voice that wanted to come out. And through our relationship and our dynamic, like you've helped me connect and like birth this, which is one of the greatest gifts I think I've been given, like truly, like in my life. And so on Saturday, I felt like, oh my God, this feeling of like freedom and like autonomy and the excitement and drive. It was almost like there's this like pent up, like a clog in the pipe of like creative energy my entire life that has been like held back by something else. And like through what honestly I believe like biofield tuning, which you're going to have next week, and we're going to talk about.
I'm going to have next week. I simply can't wait.
And like everything else, especially this like vocal work I've been doing with these two musicians lately as just a way to free my voice, because I always, even sometimes I will feel like we went to, essentially, to make a long story longer, last November, we went to Esalen because the woman who created Biofield Tuning was doing this new kind of workshop with these two musicians that she works with. And it's so interesting and cool. But basically they've created this thing called the sonic anatomy, where there are all these like baby noises associated with different parts of your body. And then they put them together into tonics. And it's the idea that it's like freeing anger, or you're embodying your like body more, or it's joy. And we spent a weekend doing it. And I felt like there was a freedom in my voice, in my head, like in my body. I'd slept so well. Like it was undeniable how powerful it was. And then it was just the beginning, and how you do a lot of work where everyone's making noise at once. Like it's not about how you sound. It's not about singing or sounding beautiful, but you close your eyes and you're receiving your own voice.
Mm.
And then you're making these noises that are associated with different parts of your body. And like sometimes there's a lot of sound and sometimes there's none.
Mm.
So it's just like you're seeing where you're holding these weird areas of tension.
Yeah.
And sometimes I could make these sounds and it would feel great. And often I would just feel fear associated with my voice.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And to this day, like I had a session this week and like I'm making basic noises like with intention. And I just feel all this fear and like emotion in the act of like actually just solo saying like ma like 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is weird. Like
Wow.
this is like weirdly tied into my, anyway. So all of this is like culminated into this wild experience where for the first time in my entire life, I've felt this like freedom and connection to myself that I've been looking, that I didn't know how much I needed or was looking for. Like, I think that's the whole reason I was an actor. I think my whole life, adult life has been unconsciously dedicated to this.
Yeah.
But in the feeling and doing of this, I have to now step out of my comfort zone and step away from our partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like too much for me to take.
Well, it's scary.
It was scary. And like, also like, I love you. I love doing this with you. I love, like, I know how incredible these kinds of platforms are for you. And like, you're just coming back into your light after like a couple of years of transition. So like, it was so scary because I was like, I don't want to abandon Claire. But it was so clear to me that when I had the relief that like, you're ready for this, it was like, you're not abandoning Claire, you're setting her free. Like you're holding her back with all this like weird esoteric bullshit. And she needs to be like lighting up her, with all of your gifts that the world needs. So it was like super emotional. I don't get it. And then this is when it gets weird. Like it wasn't already. Like
I was going to say it gets weird.
I know. No. So that night after I have the epiphany, I finally have space to process all of this. And it's big and I am struggling. It's like more than I can fathom. It's more than I can physically feel. It's more than I can process mentally, emotionally. And it started to really bring up, and like gave me all these glimpses into like my bulimia because I feel so much. And I remember, especially in my like early 20s, like late teens and college, like being pushed in all these ways as you grow and as an adult. And I just like couldn't handle the extreme feelings. Yeah. And it was like, it was this feeling that I hadn't felt in a long time where it was like, the feelings are too big. Like they don't fit into this vehicle that I have. And I cannot receive them. They're coming in so big and so fast. I cannot receive them in this state. So I like never drink at home. We never drink, like just the two of us. We don't drink very much. And I was just like on literally no dinner, empty stomach, was like, I'm going to open a bottle of wine. I proceed to drink almost an entire bottle of wine, which is not, I can't do that.
That's unusual for you. Yes.
Yeah. No. And because I know that I'm just trying to like numb, but also like relax into what's going on.
Yeah.
And the first glass of wine, I'm just like joyful, sad, weepy. I call my mother and I am like, and she immediately was like, what's going on? And it was so interesting as I spoke to her the next day and she goes, I knew something was up. There was a sparkle in your eye that I've never seen before. And I was like not drunk or anything. I was like weepy and like I had a glass of wine and I was like, oh my God, I'm having this like really wild experience. And like, I feel like I really need to share with you because like as silly and lighthearted as this sounds, and I was thinking about this earlier today while I was on a walk, like some of the biggest moments of my life, if you were to tell them to other people, they're like, what? Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like
a
when
retelling. No. And I feel like that can actually be said for many of us, right?
Right.
Where it's like,
that's it? This changed your life? Okay. What do you mean? Like, of course we all can see that you can do that. Like, way to go. Right. You know? So I'm telling her and she receives it. And I was like, honestly, this feels like it comes from our lineage. And I feel like I have like these hands have lifted off, out of my throat. I don't feel like I'm being silenced. And even so, like, I think the second or third biofield tuning I got from Luciana, I was at one point choking. I couldn't breathe and I was like gasping for air.
Yeah.
And she was like the whole time, because she'll kind of feel what you're feeling, which is wild.
Yeah.
She was like, I felt like someone, and the whole time I felt like I was being choked and I was like tied down. And then afterwards she was like, I felt like my arms and legs were tied and like my neck was bound and I was being choked. And I was like, yep, that's like, this is not enough. This is a normal experience. Yeah. So I'm drinking wine to like receive the message, like to process and receive, which I know is like, that's not a healthy thing to do. I finished the bottle minus like a glass or half a glass. And I am now just like really feeling like there's all this stuff coming in, and it feels very confusing. It feels much bigger than me. My anxiety's through the roof. I cannot sit in it. It feels like I'm getting like electrical shock, I'm being surrounded by energy that's trying to permeate my body, and like I can't allow it in. Okay. And I am literally, and again, I don't smoke, like none of this. I literally I was like, Luciana, I need a cigarette. And she's like absolutely against smoking. Like, this is not, I used to be a health coach, like whatever. And for some reason she was like, okay, we'll figure this out. And in retrospect, I looked at the situation, and I know in a lot of like different ceremonies with like plant medicine, they'll use tobacco to like, I think, ground you. I've never done this. I heard lore, like truly never done this. I know. So I have a cigarette. It immediately it works in the sense that like it grounds me completely. I have it fully changes my state, but also I feel very like overwhelmed and tired and nauseous and like gross that I did it. Yeah. And so I'm like laying on the couch, like trying to like process what's happening for a while. I'm like in and out of like, should I go to bed, or like, can I like, I'm in like an in-between state.
Okay.
And finally Luciana's like, I'm not going to leave you down here. And I start crying. And at first I'm like, I'm super embarrassed. And like, I feel like a lot of shame. And like, I feel really weird. I feel like good and bad and scared. And then as I start to cry, I start again feeling the deluge of feelings, much like the only other time was like when I felt all that anger with Ching. But instead of anger, it was like sadness. Well, it was a combination of like fear, sadness, anger. So I start crying and like hyperventilating because it's like so much emotion that it's like my body doesn't know how to process it. So I'm crying, I'm hyperventilating, and then I start like dry heaving. And then I get a vision of Luciana with this big red, her heart being like this big heart, like beating cartoon red heart with energy shooting out both of her arms through her hands, like love. Wow. So I, in between all this, get her to lay behind me on the couch and just gently put her hands on my back. Yeah. And with this, it unlocks something where I feel like with the support or the love or the energy she's putting into me, I now open up a portal in my back. And everything starts to like, it's like something unclogged the hose and it can flow through. And I am just, and until we figure this out, I didn't remember this, but she was like, you are just repeating, I want to die. I want to die. I can't do this anymore. Like this hurts so much. I can't process this amount. Like, I don't know what's trying to get into my body. Like, I want to die. Please kill me. Like, I want to die. Oh my God. And like, it was, you don't remember saying that? I don't, because I just remember being so overwhelmed by like the amount of like feelings that it felt like I was being like pushed and like consolidated from every angle. And like things were trying to get in, and it felt like I was having feelings that were going to explode, like all of my cells in my heart. Like it was just too big for my experience. And for some reason, like having her hands, which I'll tell you about that after, but like having her hands on my back opened up and like allowed like an opening through my body is what it felt like. And then it started to come out. And so I was hysterical. I was crying. I was screaming. I was yelling. It was like guttural and fierce and disgusting and scary. And it went on and on. This is like now the middle of the night. And I'm just like like ugly yelling, and it's very like visceral and guttural. And like at this point, I am now, it's happening to me and it's flowing out. I am now observing, you know, the part of your brain that's like watching, right? You can get out of your experience. So I'm watching and I'm like, what is happening? And apparently I kept saying to her in between this, being like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Because it's not like I remember I had moments like post-divorce where I just was like, I'm so sad. Like I'm just going to let my heart break, and I'm going to cry, and I'm going to feel horrible.
Feel it all.
And then it comes out and you feel lighter. And it feels like you're processing something. Again, much like the anger, this was not tied to my life. It didn't feel better. It felt violent. It felt
That's so interesting.
It was so wild. And then it sputtered out. It was like it ran out of gas. And every time, because in the beginning she didn't quite understand, because I couldn't quite communicate, because I was hysterical.
You don't know what was happening.
She would try to move her hand, like one of her hands, and it would start to be almost like my body wanted to throw up. Without the connection of our energy, I was like, now my body didn't know how to handle this, what was coming in. So it wanted to throw up. So whenever she put her hand back, it was like flowing out again. And it went on for I don't know, an hour, 5 days, who knows? 3 years.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm just in and out of watching it, being like, where's this coming from? Is this ever going to stop? It was so emotionally painful and physically draining that I was just sort of why is this happening to me? Is it ever going to stop? Why is it happening? Why is it happening? And it eventually stops. And when it does, I no longer feel at all nauseous, nor do I even feel drunk, really. I feel a little tipsy, but it's I almost needed both the alcohol and tobacco to make a portal and to get to relax enough to get out of the way, but also to soften enough to allow more in, but to grab, I don't understand, because I don't do a ton of either. I never smoke, and
right.
I definitely don't drink to feel better. You know what I mean? Or to avoid anxiety. And I don't really have anxiety at this point.
Right.
So it was so bizarre. We're both completely knocked out. I remember I shower, I get into bed. I feel so tired. We're both so tired.
Yeah.
And the next day I'm like, oh my God. I remember when this happened to me with Ching, and I felt so much better. And it was so crazy while it was happening too. I started to get these flashes of moments where this was kind of happening, where I would almost tap into this. There was one point I remember watching Into the Wild when I was dating my ex-husband, and I couldn't stop crying afterwards. And it was there was a moment where I took some mushrooms during the pandemic with one of my best friends, couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
I had these flashes of when my body was trying to detox. Cause I remember moments of there's so much pain here. It's not mine, but it was always it just was but I do feel sad, and maybe I'm just a sad girl. You know what I mean?
But there's something, but also is just a sad girl because of past life or from ancestors, who knows?
Right. Where this was this is happening to me. And so the next morning I wake up and I feel like shit. Not hungover, a little hungover, but more exhausted. And honestly, the word I would use is violated. It felt like something came through me that was not mine. And I was a conduit to release this thing. And I think it's beautiful, but to this day, I don't feel related to it. And it felt scary and not good. And I don't feel better for it. I couldn't even connect to the good feeling of being able to feel the power of being able to be free to express on my own. It was I'm still trying to reconnect to that at moments.
Okay.
But it was wild, because only the next day did Luciana tell me that. So Chief Montana was my late shaman's teacher.
Okay.
And through a series, I'd heard about him for years. I'd never seen him. I never felt called to see him. But when we got hacked last summer, through a series of unrelated events, someone gifted me a session with him. And shout out to Medina. I love you. You're the best. And then all of a sudden I have a very interesting session with him. And I never had I guess Tara was a shaman, but she almost didn't want to call herself that.
Right,
but I was
right.
that's who you are to me. So I have a session with him, and then Lou is very interested. So she has a session, and it's even more profound than mine. And the first thing he says to her, among like other things that she needs to do when he first meets her and like barely knows her, is like, listen, you have, I'm going to butcher this, but it's something to the extent of like, you have so much love and you have so much energy from your heart that you need to sit and practice pouring the energy out of your heart through your arms and through your hands.
Stop it. You stop it right now.
And she never told me this. And it was the only thing that like allowed this portal to open on Saturday night. And then
wowzer.
And then like a year or two ago, our Chit Night Sang practitioner, who has been so helpful, she really took Luciana aside after working with her for a while. She goes, I just want you to know, like, you have healing hands, like you're a healer. And Lou's like, no one had ever like said that to her before. And it was she was like, your hands, there's something really special about your hands. And like, I wasn't thinking about any of this. Like I was like not in a fully conscious, normal state. You weren't. And it was just like clear as day, this picture came through. And like, I purged whatever this was. And it was bizarre. I'm still trying to process it. So I have like a full hangover. I like called my parents the next day. I was like, I'm sort of like, yeah, what we do for fun around here is really weird.
It's really strange. It's not what other people would necessarily say is fun.
But then I had the horrible, like I had such a hangover where I'm like, oh my God, like I've been shown this vision of us separated. I've been really shown, literally told the world that I need to liberate Claire and that I need to encourage her to go on her own and like I'm seeing a picture of you like shining your light fully, taking up space fully. And I'm so afraid and I'm so terrified and I don't want to, and I don't want to go on my own and I don't want to liberate us. And at the same time, it's like, I know better than to like go against all of this.
Well,
then poor Claire gets like all these frantic messages. And on Tuesday, I just like vomit on her and I'm like sweating and crying and like being like, I'm sorry. I love you. I want you to be in my life forever. Like it's true. Like, I don't know. The older I get, the more I look at my life. And I think that, especially as Americans, we have this idea of like, me first, I can do it alone. I should do, you know what I mean? Like, it's very like, you're the one who does it. Silent. And then there's a part of like wellness, especially that's like, you take responsibility for yourself and like, you need to heal, like you can heal and you can do it all on your own. And like, yes, to some degree, you need to take responsibility for yourself. But beyond that, it's like the village that it took to get here, the people, like the amount of like love and support and encouragement. And the most beautiful part of this to me has been like, it's only through you being you that it allowed me to find that. Right. And it's like only through us showing up and being our like biggest, boldest, most beautifully expressed versions of ourselves to do the special things that we come here to do, then we give everyone, you know, the permission, ability, magic, support to do their thing. Like,
right.
We all rise. We're all, you know, and I don't know, I'm like overwhelmed with like gratitude and I'm scared and I feel embarrassed and I love you. And I don't know, like what was Tuesday like for you?
Well, I mean, first of all, thank you. I mean, is as much gratitude as you have for, you know, me signing up and being part of this. I mean, you came into my life in a time that I was drowning. So you saved my life. But it was, you know, first of all, getting the message of, I had a major epiphany about the podcast. I was like, oh no, what's happening? Like something, because I was like, at first I thought, well, how would she want to change the format? And then I was like, I don't know if it's going to be the format. So I was like, okay, this will be interesting. But I'm not, who am I to counter what comes through to you? right? So I was just like, okay, let's see. And yeah, I mean, it's sad to think because I mean, I think we started last week's podcast with like, this is our favorite time of the week, but which it is. But
Yes.
I think, yeah, I have been feeling for the last few weeks that this was too small of a container for both of us, right? Because we both have so much to say and we will talk, you know what I mean? But it's like, this has been, so the question is like, well, do we just continue with that? Yeah. So it's kind of been in my head for a little bit. And then as you were talking to me on Tuesday, a couple days ago, for those who don't know what day, I had this visual of the two of us on the beach and both wanting to go in the water, but a little scared. And so we were holding hands and like, we've got this. And then went into the ocean. And then it felt like, okay, now this is the time that we let go because we've got it. We're swimming. We're fine. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I've been also thinking for the last couple of weeks, like, gosh, I really do want to bring back either my old podcast or in a new iteration of it, talking about my life experiences, and just life, whatever. So, yeah, so it wasn't like sure, there's an element of sadness of like, okay, change and not having this, but we are going to be helping each other.
Yes.
With these with doing our own things.
Yes.
So this won't be, it's not the last of us.
No.
By any means.
No.
By any means.
And the first thing when I was feeling like, oh my God, because it was, I was getting very clear messages from Spirit that it's like, no, Claire has to do her own thing. Like Claire has to be the star of her own thing. Because when I was like thinking my way through this, I was like, well, Claire has to like say less maybe, and the channel has to be more, and I have to say less about my life. Right. And every time I thought that, I was like, no, Claire does not. I'm like, no, that's not right. And it was so funny because it was like, no, she has to do this. And I was like, well, I can't like make her do this. But also like, if we stop doing this and she doesn't do it, like I feel responsible and I feel like something bad happened and da. But then I was reminded of when literally a few months ago when this came to fruition, I was like, well, if I'm meant to do this, I'm meant to do this with Claire, bring her to me. And then like 3 hours later, you text me out of nowhere. Insane. And then we talk like 2 days later. And the first thing you say to me was, I've really been thinking a lot about bringing my own podcast back lately and I haven't quite done it. And I don't know why. So I was like, oh girl, she's getting this already. Yeah. Like this has been living inside of you. So if anything, like we like soft launched together and like, and built the boat together. And now I have to build a new boat and you have to build a new boat. Right, but we're going to help each other, which was the only thing. I mean, you said the most beautiful thing to me when we talked before this started, and you were kind of just like, yes, because no matter what, like, I know that my life is better with you in it. And like, absolutely. I wholeheartedly feel the same way. Like just the creative, the friendship, like I feel so supported and I don't know, like seen in a way that a longtime friend, like we've had so many different relationships to each other and that feels really special. I don't have anyone like that in my life. Yeah. And also like you're a projector and man, everyone get you at least one of those in your inner circle.
Get yourself a projector.
It's true. Like you have a special magic where like you'll observe something and you'll be like, you know what? This might need this or this might need that or you might need this. Or this is how you could do this better. And it like blows your mind.
Wow. Yeah. So, it feels, it's exciting. I'm nervous myself just because of one of the reasons why I haven't brought back the other podcast is I have such a hard time doing things just for me.
Yeah.
Even if I want to do it. even if I'm happy about it. But
Same.
yeah, it's just hard to do. So when I first started Clarify Your Day, I had reached out to like a network of people and found someone to help me as a producer, and which just helped me be accountable, and it felt like I wasn't alone, which is
Yeah.
the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I haven't been drawn to do that again because she got a job, and which is great. She's, doing other things. So I just haven't. I'm like, I don't want to just like reach out to no one, like, and
Yeah.
I know I could do it all by myself, but I'm not driving myself to do it. So now the hope is that I can get back to it with your support,
Of course.
obviously, and you're being on it on the occasion. So
I know. It's like, I'm still available. I'll show up. Like, what do you want me to tell me? I'll find my light. Like, I have something to say.
This 3D world, that's what you can talk about it then. But yeah, so it's exciting. It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense
it does.
because I think we both have been support systems for each other in different ways.
Yeah,
and we're supporting each other on just a new level now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it almost felt like we graduated or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels like, it's like, oh wow, it's really beautiful to grow next to someone. And I think that, whether it's a friend or a partner, the best relationships are ones that really can give the other person room to grow and flourish, right? And to grow in different directions and still relate to one another. And, sometimes you don't, right? Like we've all had those friendships and relationships where it's like, well, we both just grew in very different directions and, there's kind of no bridge in between, and that's fine too. Right. But it's just wild to me that like, because Claire was just like, I thought you were like cool and like intimidating. You were like way more in the comedy world than I was. And I was like more of an actor that would like dip in and out.
Right.
But it was so, I love life when there's people bag on aging a lot. And I think it's awesome. Like being in my 40s is my favorite. And
oh my God, of course.
It is amazing because you start to live long enough to see like patterns or to realize like, or just to be delighted by like, wow, if you told me in my 20s that like Claire, who's the head of the class in the New Yorker sketch, like who seemed really cool and really funny and really commanding, was like the roles we would play in each other's lives. Like, I just think that magic is so fascinating.
It's so fascinating. Yeah. You just got to follow. I mean, I think of that really cheesy statement that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And it's so true, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you
gotta just, that was it. But I think going back to like us kind of supporting each other, getting into the water again, as you had mentioned on here a number of times, just like your vulnerability hangover and like exposing, if you will, for lack of a better term, this part of you now, right? And sharing with everyone the channeling and your abilities and your sensitivities like that. The idea of sharing that solo was very scary at first, right? So it's like we both needed just to kind of come in together and be like, no, this is comfortable. This is what I should be doing. And so we both needed to just remind each other. We could remind each other that this is what we should be doing.
Yes.
But not in a scary way by ourselves at first.
Right. Well, it's like, no, I think we do a good job, or this platform has done a really good job of like reminding us who we are and like where, the joy and the connection and the light is in each one of us. And that was one of the things when I got off last week and I was like, okay, Claire is not as lit up when I'm talking about the stuff that lights me up as when she's talking about this like other stuff that doesn't really make sense here, and like vice versa, the stuff that I want to nerd out like this. And then I was like, we don't need to put it all in one box. There are other boxes.
Right.
And like, that doesn't mean we don't collaborate or like support each other, but like, I think we've both been very afraid to shine our own light. And I think it's so interesting. And I said this to you, and I won't name names, but like, we had a common friend who we both really supported because she knew how to take up space, and we felt safe in the container. And like, and to be, for better or worse, she did a great job of like highlighting us in certain ways. But like, there was a real, like, I don't know, there was something about that you almost like, we didn't have to be in charge.
We didn't have to be in charge. And it was, our actions were essentially dictated to us in a way. Like there was, but in a, but the unfortunate thing is that it did feel very draining over time, and it was not reciprocal. Where I feel like we help each other, it's a little bit more two-sided. Well,
I think it's almost like healthy growth, because I feel like after both of us like released that relationship, it was like, oh no, like here are two people who are feeling like, oh, we can't be the leader of this, like co-leading, right? Like with our own strengths. Right. And I think that was the thing that like really brought me, so much emotion when I first realized this last Saturday. It was like, oh my God, look at us both. We get like, look at us growing into our wings finally. I mean, better late than never. Like finally.
Right.
And I feel proud of us. And I feel like I'm excited and I'm scared. And I think, I don't know, I think about this a lot lately, because so much, I've had such a hard time taking up space in general.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know, but it's a struggle.
Well, being here, this is a different space. This is a designated space. So, and in other situations.
Anytime I would make something, like, I always felt a lot of guilt for like being an actor, wanting to be comedy, do comedy, be in comedy. And so I felt so much more when I was also had my business, I was teaching and speaking, doing the health coaching stuff. Like that gave me other purpose, which I think was great. But it's taken me a really long time to just understand that like, we're all just worthy no matter what of the space. Like we can take up all this space. And there was always this idea of like, well, okay, how am I helping? How am I, you know what I mean? How am I teaching or helping and Liz Gilbert recently, I heard her somewhere. Oh, she was on the telepathy tapes.
Yes.
She was saying like, don't make art to help people. Like gross. Like don't do it. She was like, don't try, like write for you, create for you. And it's like, you forget that like all of her writing, especially like Eat, Pray, Love or Big Magic, which I think when I was much younger, were both really like important, surprising, daring things. I was like, no, she was just doing that to heal and to be herself. And it's like, I finally feel okay being the mess of like, okay, I feel called in inner, outer, from beyond to do this. Sure. And like, it might be bad. Like maybe this is bad. Like who cares? We're having fun.
Because you know what? We're not making it for a specific audience, right? We're just making it because we feel that we need to.
Right.
For ourselves.
So I feel like this is for me, for you, for us. It's like, it's okay to like continue to like build the boat while you're sailing it. And it's okay for it to, and again, permission for everyone, like make it bad, make it ugly, make it messy, just make it. Because I think, again, both of us can be like, well, the temperature's not quite right. Exactly. I'm going to have my period in 2 weeks. It's a little bit loud 3 doors down. You're like, I didn't have my period. I'm not having my period anymore, so I'm never doing this again.
I haven't had my period in 2 years, so I guess I can't do it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, it's like the weird, it's like, no, just show up and do it.
Yeah.
And like, so what are your, I mean, I was pitching Claire, I think, that doesn't matter, but I was watching you so lit up. And I know that you like she's a really brilliant host. Like I've seen her in those roles. Like that's something they're naturally really gifted in. And as an actor, we know she's great. But you go on a lot of different kinds of podcasts. People love Claire's a great guest. People want to have her around. And I was just saying, as a projector too, right?
Yeah.
What, like, find the things that you love to talk about that light you up, and find like 3 to 5, 6, whatever people that you love talking about those different things with, and like create a cast of characters and then like have those conversations, because for better or worse, whatever's happening with, if you want to buy into this, I'm physically seeing symptoms of it, so I'm on the vibe, but like the evolution of human consciousness that we are experiencing. Words matter less, vibration matters more. People are showing up more for the energy behind things, right? Like, not that you should just chat shit, but maybe you should. I don't know. We do sometimes.
Who knows? Yeah.
It's what's underneath it. So if you can just find the people and the situations and the topics that like light you up, like that's what draws people. It's like I find whenever I meet people, it doesn't matter what they do. If they are so excited about being like the first ever underwater basket weaver, like I want to hear all their stories.
Exactly.
Right?
It's so much fun to listen to and to talk to someone who is lit up by their own passion and their own excitement. For sure. That is its own medicine in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it lights you up and you're like, wow, what about my life? What do I do that lights me up and excites me?
The other thing that I think that would also be really good for you, if you want my 2 cents.
Always.
Well, Claire is wonderful in many ways, but sometimes she will just stay at home.
But
she's a 10, but no one can find her because she's on the couch.
Because she's on the couch and not responding to texts. Mm-hmm.
But because she's a showgirl, she'll do it for the plot.
Yes, I will.
And because when we started this podcast, one of the things that Claire wants was love.
Yes.
I don't know. I think whatever you do, a part of it has to be about dating and this phase of your life and exploring.
Yeah.
Because when I found her, she had a dating live show.
Yeah, it was a live show for 2 years.
Yeah, I got to be a guest once. And I think we're talking like, whoa, we were, for some reason you guys had me on talking about nutrition or something.
Well, I think it was, I remember the biggest.
Jesse was probably trying to be kind to me or something.
No, I think we wanted to, it was just like how to make our bodies feel better. Like how to make us feel better.
In the body.
You know,
that
to
makes
like
sense.
Show up best. Yeah, it was more about that.
Yes.
But yeah.
But you guys had this great dating show, and I know it forced you both to date, and like, I also think that there's something really beautiful and interesting about like, you know, where you are coming out later, like exploring this in the way later in life, and like, I think that's actually really relatable and really beautiful.
I thank you. I think so too. I think it, I know doing that podcast, No Such Thing as Love, that really forced me and pushed me in a way that I wouldn't have been able to create, or it would have taken a hell of a lot longer, probably, if at all, you know, for me to come to different revelations, aka coming out.
That's so interesting. So that you feel that came through the show.
I think that accelerated it a little bit because it really was, because I really was just learning about the new vocabulary and expanse of, because I think for the longest time understanding like the difference between bisexual and romantic sexual, like Like, or
What's
like
that? Wait,
bisexual or biromantic.
what's
Sorry, I said it wrong.
interesting.
Bisexual or biromantic. So it's like having, so like learning about all these things and like,
Yeah.
and then putting myself, so obviously the bisexual biromantic is like, you like hooking up, but you don't necessarily want to date.
Right.
Right. Or vice versa, you know,
Yeah,
like, or
yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit of everything. So,
Right.
yeah, so that, and I think that, yeah, just having to force myself to date, I went on a sexual walkabout. Thank you. And I did that too, because I was like, I think I need to, I just have to put myself out there.
Yeah.
And it just made me look at how I was feeling in these situations, what I was attracted to, what I was uncomfortable with. It really did kind of push, because I was happy to ignore my love life.
Yeah.
Happy. I was easily doing it. I wasn't talking about it at all. But then it became the focus. So that absolutely helped me come out when I did.
Well, I don't know.
I know.
That might be a good avenue for you.
I know. Yeah. I was thinking about who, you know, because I don't, okay, so we haven't spelled it out necessarily. So our intention is we're going to do one more podcast next week after I do the biofield tuning with Luciana, which I'm so excited. So we'll talk about that experience and what comes of that. And then you will be focusing more on channeling and all that comes through that you need to share.
Yes.
So that will be under Love Through It, probably.
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
There's something about this whole process that just feels like, I don't know, grow up with me. Sure. Like I had this moment of like, should I just pivot this to like my name? And then I was like, you know what? It is. And like, I don't think you're going to disappear forever. And like so much of it was so different in the beginning where it's like, okay, see Liana's evolution as she loses her whole mind and turns into a witch. Like, why not? Like, if you're curious, like, here, watch the whole story.
Watch the whole thing.
Yeah, because I realized, you know, coming back to allowing all that you are, I'm like, I'm not doing that because I'm judging it. And like, having you here is like it's like forced breaks because I can't go too esoteric, too weird, too out there because like, I'm polite. and though I talk a lot, but I like want to involve you in the conversation. So if I like take a hard left, like you're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And also like if you take up space too, I can only share what feels comfortable. And if I'm here alone, then I'm forced to actually confront like literally why I was told to do this.
To let it go.
Yeah. So I'm trying to fully give over to what I was told and what, you know, the pull is towards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then with you, I mean, we're still building the boat, but like, what are you thinking?
Well, I want to, so I had started my Clarify Your Day podcast, which I only did 12 episodes of, and it was much more of an interview show. Yeah. But I had already been thinking, before we started this back about like, okay, I want to do it, but I don't want to do all interviews. So I was thinking like maybe half and half, like half would also just be with comedian friends or whatever and just talk about random shit. Yeah. But I think that that's mainly going to be all of it now. But I think, I have so many funny friends and so many, you know, and also just good people that I know. And so it's like, okay, why don't I do kind of a rotating guest and we talk about what's on our mind. Maybe there's a little bit of structure regarding if we stick with a Clarify Your Day, but also it could just be Clarify Your Day as in brighten your day with Claire. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
We can pivot. We can make a hard pivot.
Right. We can do whatever.
Well, I remember Sorry to interrupt. Remember Lissa, that Lissa of New York comedian writer?
Yes.
She turned me on during the pandemic to this. I don't even remember, but this comedian who had this stand-up, like comedy stand-up-y podcast. And then I guess much like me had a weird spiritual awakening and then just like hard left into like making weird spiritual content. And I hadn't heard it before, but Lisa was very into this and she shared it with me. And I just remember being like, whoa, like you can do that. And I kind of respect that. So she was sort of like, yeah, if you want to come back, I'm talking about this other weird shit now. So like stay or leave. Like, I don't know. I love that. That feels really like, that feels really authentic. That feels like behind the curtain. And I think that it's so interesting to watch people grow. I'm just fascinated by people. Yeah. So the more you get to see other people's evolution, like I find that fascinating. Anyway, I totally interrupted you. Keep going.
I don't know what I was talking about.
We were talking about like what, you know, that you were clarify your day could be you brightening your day, everyone's day.
Right, exactly. As opposed to like actually talking about what you do in a day, which I find fascinating. Like, because I am fascinated by people, and it's like, how do people function in the day? Because I don't know how I'm I'm barely functioning most days. So it's like, wait, you get up and you do this just for yourself? You know, it's like, so I'm fascinated by that, but I don't think that that's, you know, again, in the interview essence, it's, I'm not fully me. So I need that. So I'm just kind of in my mind, just trying to like clarify for like, hello, for the best term. Exactly how it's going to be kind of set up and structured, but the structure may fall apart, but you know, just something to start with.
I think that's great. And like, I think go follow the joy, follow what makes you laugh and lights you up and makes you so excited and curious. Yep. And then also like, feel free to like try people out. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
exactly.
Just like kind of like go through the interview process, like, you know, quietly and see who's fun to do it with. See and if they're not, don't ask them back. And just feel free to like build it with us watching.
Yeah. Right.
Why not?
Because again, I want to do it for you, like, because it's going to light me up, but also, you know, hopefully other people will enjoy it. Also, I feel like whoever could come on would have a good time and just have a little joy in their life that way, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited about it. So my homework has been, since we talked 2 days ago, I've just been trying to
always give homework.
Always homework, which I appreciate. And I'm going to miss that. So you'll have to give me homework.
It's still here. I'll just still give you homework, Claire.
You'll still give it. Yes. And also, you were going to be in my inaugural episode.
Oh, yeah. I literally was like, well, I don't want her to not do it. So I was like, tell me where to stand. And I was like, girl, I'll come as much as you want. You know I don't shut up.
Obviously, you're going to be coming on regularly.
Yeah. Don't forget, you'll get more of this, guys. There's a home where there's more of this. So don't freak out. You're just getting more of both of us.
Thank you so much. That's it. More of both of us.
Yeah. So which, if you are disappointed, maybe don't listen to either one.
I don't know if we need to say that, Liana. We can say
you're right. Actually, if you're disappointed, double down harder and you may learn something.
Indeed. So that's to come in the coming weeks.
I'm excited because I know that this is going to be the biggest step forward for myself I've ever taken. Yeah. Of course, right? Because we are where we are. And being brave and being open and like sharing authentically. And I know at this point that whenever you go towards the fear and the discomfort, that the beauty is on the other side of that. And maybe not right away, and maybe not in the way you thought. Often and not the way you thought is my experience.
Most times.
But as you continue to go on the other side of it, and you know, who knows what it leads to, right? There's only one breadcrumb at a time. like just seeing where this goes for you and for me, just being brave in this way and being like more authentic. I don't know. I feel proud of us.
I'm proud of us too. Yes.
And truly, like, I can't say this enough. Oh my God, guys. Do the thing that you love for all of us. Even if it feels like, as long as you're not hurting someone, like the thing that you feel that your heart sings, the thing that when you think about, wow, how do I allow all that I am I doing that? Like, exhale, like fully spread your wings, do the thing for us because we need it, because your thing makes me better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does.
Just
permission.
Being a witness to it. Being a witness to it.
Yeah. But you won't even I got very, this whole process, especially the last week, there's been a lot of like, I can't do this by myself. And then I'm like, what am I going to be? One of those weirdos with like a YouTube channel that just talks to themselves. And like, remember in the beginning of that felt like really icky, like, and weird that people did that. But then like lately, I don't know. Do you know who Florence Given is?
No.
She's written a couple different books. She's
yes,
like,
yes. She's
on
pink hair.
Everything's pink in her life.
Everything is pink. Yes. No, I do. I've watched her on Instagram.
Well, weirdly enough, like one of my friends likes her stuff, so shares her content a lot. And because I'm very into aesthetics, I started following her a while ago, but I've like never read her books. I don't know much about her. Yeah. And you know, she takes up space unapologetically. She's who she is. And I find myself liking to watch her content, even though like maybe it's not it doesn't resonate with me fully. And then oddly enough, someone gave me her book for my birthday, like someone else, which a little bit, they're like, oh, you probably know all this, but like whatever. And it's fun and pretty. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. And I kind of thumbed through it and it's like nothing at all new. But then it like planted this seed where I started looking at her content and she now self-produces a podcast that's like her speaking on a mic. And I was like, wait, this is cool. And like, she looks cool. And then I was like, wait, I could like, that's cool. Like, that's fine. Like people are doing that. Like, it was so funny. And I feel like when you're open to it, like life nudges you. And because the moment I thought I can't just speak to a microphone, and I see her book on my desk because like, it's just been there since it was given to me. And then I was like, no, go watch her content. And then I did. And I was like, oh, that makes me, you know what I mean? Like, and when you open yourself to like the nudge and the fear and the push, it's like, you almost get these whispers in all these different directions. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God. And then watching her stuff gives me so much joy to see another person. Maybe she's not talking about like stuff I'm super interested in, but I'm watching another human do this thing that I'm always striving to do more of. And like, it's giving me permission. And today I was like, you know, cleaning up in our kitchen, and I was like scrolling through Instagram, and Chris Fleming came on, which he's a comedian. Yeah. We've talked about him before. And he was just on some like NPR podcast talking about like, you have to like push your creativity to like your art should make you uncomfortable type of thing. And like, just go past your limit. And it was like, today I was feeling kind of like, oh, because I had these moments of like, am I really going to do this by myself? And this is dumb. And why am I doing this? And no one cares. And like all of those voices. And then of course it's like him in that moment being like, Liana, this is exactly for you. And this is what, and I was like, all right, great. Thank you, universe. Thank you. Thank you. So I was like, listening to him. I found the podcast and was listening to it, and it was like really delightful. And I was like, okay, these are, you know, random inspirations, but like, how do I allow this to be, this brings me joy. These people being so crazy and fully expressed and out there, like that brings me joy and gives me permission to do this thing. And are they doing anything similar? Absolutely not. So like, be that for someone, please. Like that saved my life today. And like, when we can do that like we pay that forward to everyone else. So in you continuing to think about this and grow this, like, please, for me, Claire, be the one who's like going to the edge of your joy and pushing it and being like the fullest expression of you. Because honestly, it was you starting your own podcast that made me even brave enough to like whisper to you after you were working for me. I was like, I've always had this like tiny little whisper to do this. And you were like, of course. And I was like,
let's do it.
I'm like, wait, that's so embarrassing. Everyone has a podcast. You're like, who cares? We're doing
Who
it.
cares?
Like, and then you
Who cares?
whipped up a podcast because it's what you're good at.
Thank you. Thank you.
And here I am.
This feels, step by step, we're getting more and more into ourselves.
Yes. In a good way.
In the best way. In the best way. No, for sure.
Oh my gosh. So, I'm scared.
It's a lot. No, it's exciting. And that's the thing. It's exciting because I think a problem that I have, as many people have, is, yes, it's hard for me to motivate and do stuff just for myself. But the other is I wait because I want to make sure it's perfect when I do it. And so then nothing ever gets done. So I'm just going to kind of start it. I mean, I'm trying to put a little bit of thought, obviously, a little bit of thought around it, mainly so I can explain when I ask a friend to be on it, like what it is, even though I don't know what it is necessarily.
It's a podcast. It's a surprise. You're going to help me figure it out, which you could also tell people.
Honestly, yeah, let's just gab. So I'm trying not to let the perfectionism of it get in the way.
Same.
Which is also that can be veiled as just fear, but
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, thank you guys for coming on this ride with us.
Exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's lots of fun.
More to come in every direction.
Yes, indeed. And next week we'll talk about biofield tuning. And I'm so excited about that.
I'm so interested because what I've seen with everyone who's done it in my life is that it really brings people back to themselves and also like opens up their ability to receive, and often I feel gets people unstuck. Like, one of my old dear friends was like sort of in this relationship dynamic that wasn't serving her. Mm-hmm. And she got one session and like decided to switch things up. And it's been years where I'm hoping that she will. And it was like, she just got clarity in a different way. And it was like, wait, this doesn't feel good to me. I'm going to do this whole other thing. And I was like, this is powerful. Like, I mean, I've experienced the power of it,
but continually witnessing other people. Yeah.
And people at varying levels of like growth and openness and sensitivity and spirituality. Like, you don't need to be, I mean, I was going to say this isn't an advertisement, but it is. It's amazing.
It is.
Why not? Sponsored by Biofield Tuning. But no, I'm so happy, excited and curious just because you are so sensitive. And also like, I often feel that some of your stuckness isn't yours, much like mine.
I honestly, yes. And that was something that, and recently I definitely don't feel like it's mine. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel completely unable to function, but I feel like it's because something is blocking. But yeah, I feel like there were moments in the working with Ching, which I have paused working with him right now, but previously, you hear about the epigenetics, you hear about how you carry genetic trauma, you hear about, but like, I witnessed it in a weird level, and I feel like, something's up, something is happening here. Anywho, that was not a coherent statement, but all that to say, it's going to be fascinating.
I know.
And guess what? I have huge news.
Oh my God, what? You've been hiding it this whole time?
I know, because it's exciting. I finally booked an acting job.
Oh my God! Oh, wait, the energy has shifted in your life. When did you hear this?
Yesterday.
Can I tell you, do we feel it's related to you stepping in and saying yes to this on Tuesday? Like, oh my God, how did you not lead with this? How did you not tell me this?
I know. Because we're talking about this. This is exciting.
But yes, this is such a big deal.
it's such a big deal. It's the tiniest of roles, but I haven't booked anything in a couple of years
Since you live there, right?
Since I've lived here, and even
Right.
for a few, yeah, correct, and
Yes.
also for months before leaving
Was the
New York.
pickle thing the last thing? The pickle commercial?
I did. I worked on a feature film, but it was a friend who asked me
Right.
to do it. So, like,
Right,
the last thing
right.
I booked might have been
Pickle.
yeah,
Yeah.
the pickle, Vlasic pickles. So yeah, so again, tiny role, but
TV,
but
film?
it's TV. I think it's a series, but I think it's on a streamer, and I can't remember which one. I think in Netflix.
Oh my God.
But, you know,
Comedy,
it's
drama?
tiny. It's drama. I mean, I'm mainly
Ooh.
being hired for my size because I'm like an officer or whatever. But listen, I gave subtle nuance in my performance, so they saw it.
Claire, stop it right now. You're an incredible actress.
Thank you,
Incredible.
thank you, thank you. Thank you. So
wait.
anyhow, so it's exciting.
I
But-
just need to, before we end this, talk about the energetics of this, because
Yes.
the universe responds to your effort,
Mhm.
and also you attract what you are, right?
Mm.
So if you are, oh my God, no wonder all I heard on Saturday was like, free Claire, free Claire, free Claire. Like, it was like, you're not leaving her, you're like setting her free. And like in that conversation, it was like, allow her to step into like the fullness, right? And like to take more ownership. And the next day, like, this is not, I know this can sound like a coincidence, but truly, like, you finally embodying the woman I knew, who you know, the even better version of you owning, you taking up space, you taking ownership over your career. Are you kidding? Did you just not die and feel like such a wink that you're like, okay, I'm literally like agreeing to do the scary thing, and immediately I'm rewarded? Immediately I'm rewarded.
Yeah. And I mean, I did this audition like weeks ago. I've forgotten about it.
Right.
Like when I first got the message from my manager, I was like, wait, what was that? Like, because it's so not even in my brain.
It's so strange. It literally, it's like, how are you showing up? What are you putting out into the world? Are you doing the scary thing? Like, you immediately got like applauded by the unit. Like, if that isn't a sign that you should be doing this, and like, thank you, universe, for doing this for Claire, because I was feeling so bad that I got this message and I had to deliver it to us, and I had to be the one that is like, you need to do this on your own. We need to do this on our own. Like, what? No,
you have to deliver messages to me though.
Okay,
I'm not open enough for it. Yeah, you have to.
No, I mean, it's very, I get a lot. I can like see and hear things sometimes, and I'm like, I didn't say this.
I'm like, not this,
not for you, but just in general.
In general,
no, that makes me feel even more, because I was kind of like, I agree, but like, will she step into this? And like, boy, were you already ready? And literally, we needed to cut whatever this was for you to sort of like, you know, expand more. Yeah. And immediately you booked a job. I'm so excited. My mind is blown. When do you shoot?
Can you believe? So I shoot next Wednesday.
Amazing.
So the day after the biofield tuning.
Interesting. Oh my God. So we're going to have two fun things to talk about next week on our final episode of this iteration. There's so much more magic. Well, no wonder you didn't need coffee and you were so chipper this morning.
I know.
Different.
I know. It feels good. It feels good.
Oh my God. Of course. You're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
Ooh, finally.
Oh my God. Finally. Right? All right, guys.
I mean, it may be another couple of years before I book something else again, but it's still.
Stop it right now. Take that back.
Hey, that was a comedic statement.
Okay, thank you.
That was a comedic, like, ha ha ha. But I will be booking. Sorry.
Yes, exactly.
I will be booking.
Yes, we turned the faucet on. It's going
Thank
to
you.
flow. It's going to flow.
The faucet is flowing. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. A lot of pipe metaphors today for me.
Right. Done.
Anyway, here we are. Well,
I love it.
Well, if that's not the most exciting news. I mean, last week it's a puppy. This week is an acting job.
I know.
The joy that is coming from this podcast.
Will you have seen the puppy?
No, it's not born yet.
Recording? Oh, it's not born yet. Okay.
No, it's not born yet.
Okay. Okay.
But as soon as it's born, I will let you know, and I will let everyone know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And I will come on your podcast and talk about it.
Exactly.
Please.
I was just thinking.
I'll show pictures, and I will come talk about the
we'll
puppy.
talk about it the whole time.
So if you guys want, like, what was it? How would it say? Late breaking. I was trying to make it like news sounding. Like
right.
State of the art is not. Yeah. Right. If you want,
sure. 24-hour
in
news
real
cycle.
time. Be updates.
Exactly.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Love you.
Love you. I love you all. We're loving through it together. Ha. So cheesy.
That was good. Bravo.
And Clarify Your Day coming to theaters near you.
Exactly. Thank you.
And thank you. Just thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Exciting. Love you.
Love you.